Hey, what is up, YouTube? This is Noli from the Noliverse, and today I got some silver to show off or reveal. Not really show off, it's just generic silver for the most part. It's not even that much. Silver's up right now, $56. New all-time high, of all time. And for all of us stackers, that means silver's looking really good in our stack, but it's making it a little bit harder for silver to come by for some of us. So we're going to talk about that as I go through the silver. So stay tuned. If you like this content, hit the thumbs up, leave a like. Don't forget to comment at the end. Let me know your favorite piece. We are still doing that giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. We'll talk more about it the closer we get, because my subscriber count has actually decreased, which is fine. It's whatever. I'm not doing this to become the next famous rich YouTuber. I just do this to share my silver with you guys and maybe teach you a couple things along the way for all you new stackers. Or to just talk about it. Sometimes people just want to hear about silver or see silver. So, as you all see, silver's at its all-time high, and we're going to talk about, does that make it too expensive to buy? It's at $56 an ounce, right? Now, when I started stacking silver, silver was around, it was like $23 an ounce when I started stacking. And I was picking up 1 ounce rounds for about like 25, 26. I think there's a couple I got for around like 30, depending on where I got it, with the premiums, and especially if you get American Eagles, they usually carry a higher premium too. Now that silver's at $56, while generic rounds like these Buffaloes here still hold lower premiums, you're going to get these closer to spot, what does that really mean when you haven't gotten a raise, since last year or the beginning of this year, but silver has gone up a substantial amount? You know what I mean? The truth is, this means our dollar is getting weaker. Precious metals are getting stronger. That means our dollar, the U.S. dollar, is getting weaker. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the strongest currency in the world currently would be the euro. Now, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it's the euro. But they still got to spend quite a few euros to get silver, or quite a few more to get gold. So, with the prices continuously climbing, one thing I will say for any new stacker or someone who doesn't have any ounces of silver, you may be wondering, oh, well, maybe I could just buy a half-ounce piece of silver. Now, I watched a video the other day by Privament. I believe I pronounced that right. I'll put the name of the channel right here on the screen, but he was talking about when is it okay to buy fractional silver. Now, I'm gonna keep this long story short. When you buy fractional silver, I wonder if I got any pieces over here. I don't have any fractional pieces over here aside from junk silver, which we'll get to in a minute. So, damn, I really wish I did have a piece, half-ounce piece or something over here. Anyways, so long story short, when you're buying fractional bullion, the premiums, for whatever reason, are higher. I guess people don't buy it as much, and they just want to sell you the full ounce of silver. So to sell it to you quicker, they lower the premium. Now, whatever the reason behind it is, I've never really researched. But here's the thing: let's say you buy a half-ounce round, and you're paying, per half-ounce round, you're paying $4 over spot, right? So that per ounce, you'd be paying $8 over spot. Where if you're paying $2 over spot on a 1 ounce round, and you get 2 of these, you'd have 2 ounces, and you only paid $4 over spot. So that's, to try to simplify it for you, over time, when you're buying fractional bullion, the accrued extra expense, it's going to add up, So if you're going to ask me, someone who did buy fractional bullion in the beginning, like, here and there, if you see a piece you like, I'm never going to tell you not to buy it. If you like it, buy it, but be smart about it. If you have a little bit of extra funds that won't hurt you to spend, go for it. But if you're trying to save your money through silver and be smart and use this as the great investment that it is, I mean, dudes and ladies, I've been stacking for over 2 years now, and when I started at $23 an ounce, I wasn't making as much as I'm making now with the position I was in at the job I'm at. You know, I was in a lower position, lower wage. Then I got the promotion last year, right around this time actually, and since then I've been able to really like build up my silver stack. However, not many people are fortunate like that. Some people are more fortunate than that, and some people are less fortunate, and it's all right. So I understand when it comes to stacking silver, you know, the budget matters, you know, and if I was able to buy silver for the price it was when I started, with the amount of money I'm making now, oh my god, this table would be full of silver. You know what I mean? Like, so much more. But it is what it is. As my wage went up, so did the price of silver. And it kind of just evened me out. Like, for a while there, I was able to buy a little bit more silver, and now I'm kind of back to where this is it. You know, I'm buying 6 ounces a week, or, you know, at a time. And although I got about 2.5 more ounces coming in the mail, but we're going to do that video on another time. I'm just going to get this one done today and talk to you guys a little bit. So, yeah, you know, you gotta stick to your budget. If you're still spending $100 a week on silver, hey, look, it may not be 4 ounces, it may only be 2 ounces, but you're still getting silver, and that $100 a week is better in silver than it is in the bank. It's always going to be that way. For the record, this is all the silver I got. I know I just kind of said that, but I just want to point out for sure that this is it. That is the video, or the silver for the video today. And I guess these Walking Liberty half dollars we're going to talk about in a second. I got to get back to talking about fractional bullion, which I rambled off elsewhere from. So, if you're going to go fractional, as of right now, the best way to go, well, always the best way to go was, you know, constitutional silver, or 90%, or junk silver, or, you know, US 90%. So, the best way to go when it comes to fractional silver is 90%, also known as junk silver or constitutional. This silver you could either find in rolls during roll hunting, which essentially makes the silver free when you do come across something. You could also find it in your change from time to time. At some point this year, I forget what month it was, I think it was over the summer, but I found $20 in silver coins in a cash register at my job, and exchanged about 90 cents of the actual coinage and face value for that $20 of silver. Now that silver's probably up, it's probably around $23, $24, something like that. It's not a significant increase, but it's up. And I found that for 90 cents. You know what I mean? So, constitutional junk, 90% US constitutional junk silver. I know I just said that twice, and I was trying to find a funny way to, you know, put it all together, but I couldn't. Anyways, is always going to be the best way to go when it comes to fractional silver. You can find it in the size of dimes, quarters, half dollars, and, you know, if you do find even more of junk silver, you can find it in nickels and 40 percenters, which, to be truthful, you'll find more silver in this 90% silver quarter than you'll find in 40% silver half dollar. So, you know, keep that in mind when buying coins. You know, if you're going to buy, always just go for the 90%ers, because why not? And right now, there's a lot of places that are selling 90% coins under spot, because refineries have stopped taking it in because of the silver alloy. You know, it's not 100% silver, so unless you're bringing these refiners pure bullion, they're not taking it, you know? So dealers have to find a way to get rid of constitutional junk silver quick, you know? And if selling it for cheaper than spot helps them get it out of their shop and into other people's hands without having it melted, because let's be honest, well, it's bittersweet, and we'll get to that in a second too before I end the video. But I'd rather not see the silver melted, but it is what it is. And the reason being is, as a new stacker and fairly new coin collector as well, I love this stuff. I don't want them to make it harder for me to come by it, but at the same time, the more they melt down, the more rare this stuff becomes. If you already own it, you become the holder. You know, you become the supply and demand, and one way or another. I mean, don't you know, take that with a grain of salt, because you're not the only guy with a Walking Liberty half dollar out there, believe me. But you know, you get what I'm saying. Like, the more they melt, you know, the more numismatic this becomes. So that's food for thought, you know. And again, guys, look, you're better off, even if you only have $50, even if you only have $25 to put to silver a week, get a $50 every week. You know what I mean? Go for it. You know, get yourself a $50. Get yourself a couple quarters or some dimes. You know what I mean? Like get silver. You know, put your money into silver. It won't hurt you. You know, and if it does, you can come back to my channel and unsubscribe. And unlike every video you ever watched, you can call me a POS. You know, in caps. And, you know, I won't even take offense to it because you would be 100% right. But one thing I'll leave food for thought as well, you know, if you are scared of that silver crashing, then stick to coins. Because even if silver hits a value of 0 and silver melt, a coin is backed by the government. This will still have a denomination of $1. And even if it's $0 in value, I can still go spend it for $1 in value. So more food for thought. But with that, guys, I'm going to end this video here. I think I said enough for it. And, you know, like I said, I showed all my silver. I just want you guys to not be discouraged for buying silver. I want you guys to be encouraged to keep buying silver. Do not sell. Hold, hold, hold. Warren Buffett. And just keep stacking. Keep enjoying it. You know what I mean? Have fun with it. You know, I just, the pieces I ordered off of APMEX, they're for stacking, but they're more for me. And you guys will know when they come in because they're a little bit more of a premium. They're coins. It's all coins coming in. It's no bullion. So, yeah. It's actually only 4 coins. I'll be honest. I have 4 coins coming in, and I'm very excited about them. So when they come, I'll share them with you guys. But for now, this is it. If you did like this video, if you haven't yet, please remember to hit that like button. If not, you're not going to hurt my feelings, so no big deal. But subscribe if you like this content. There's more silver to come, as always. I do want to do a video soon enough. I can't do it today because it's raining outside, but I want to get outside one of these days. And I'm just going to go through every single painting on YouTube that I've created so far. You know, we'll quickly I'll quickly have them laid out, and we'll just go over them. I want to show them to you guys, to showcase, because I feel like, you know, I know the people here on this channel are for the silver. The people on my Instagram are for the art. I share both on both worlds. You know, it's the Noliverse, but it gets hard. You know what I mean?
That's what she said.
People, so I try to use one platform for one thing more than the other. You know, and we'll see. It might change over time, but, you know, I do appreciate you guys that do support the art on here. Those who support it on Instagram, I appreciate that. And those who are supporting the stacking journey and the coin collecting journey, I appreciate you very much as well. You guys are the reason I do this and the reason why these videos keep coming out, even though, you know, I get like 50 views per video. Some of them have been pretty good. It is what it is. You know, I make them for me and for you guys that do enjoy them. It's not for the person who wants to, you know, say, oh, hey, I watched this guy before he blew up, you know what I mean? Nah, get out of here. You know, you guys have been sticking with me. You're the fans, and I remember you guys. That's why I shouted you out in that video a while back. But, yeah, with that said, this is Noli from the Noliverse. I hope you guys are all staying stacking, staying happy, staying healthy, staying safe out there in this crazy world that we live in. I hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving. It is Sunday, November 30th, and silver's at $56 an ounce. So, my last question before I leave. Are you still stacking, or are you selling? And if you're stacking, what are you buying? And what is your favorite piece? Let me know in the comments below. This is Noli from the Noliverse. Have a good one, guys.